And it was basically like, hey, like what a coincidence. Why does it happen to be that you're just now dropping this now after you realize players come in and say, you know what? Let's just do the 48 or 50 game season, whatever you're calling it. Let's just do it. And then he pulls back and says, whoa, wait a minute. We might not have a season. Like, we might not have a season. He's like,
5 days later.
He's like, that's really convenient that you would do that after you just said, worst case scenario, we'll play 50 games. And if it comes to that, we will. But he needs a little bit of a stall time. So let's say he needs 2 to 3 to 4 weeks.
It was 13 days per Trevor Bauer.
Perfectly. 2 weeks. You can get it in there. Let's just say, like, hey, let's just throw something up to piss off the players union to make them argue a little bit more and give me 2 to 3 more weeks. And that's what he did.
They've been trying to make the union look bad for the longest time, and the union continue. I mean, there are going to be the people who say, yeah, they should take a pay cut. And they probably should take a little bit of a pay cut. I think it's reasonable to say like 10% or whatever. Everybody's taking a pay cut during this situation. However, they felt they had an agreement in place that covered through all of this. So
they already had a pay cut. That's the
10% isn't 30% off of your prorated pay, and it's just going to keep getting worse. But yeah, Bauer said he was going through. I suggest anybody read the thread, even if you're not a Trevor Bauer fan. If you're a baseball fan, what he's saying is straight from the heart of a baseball player, and he's not like any other baseball player that has restrictions on what he can say. He's going to go out there. So he says, so how do you delay another 13 days? I guess we had that answer today. Threaten to cancel a season, threaten arbitration, threaten grievances, all the while hold the fans for ransom, hold the future of the game for ransom. Nobody believes your bluff, Bud. And of course, he
called him Bud. He's not Bud C. Like it's Rob Manfred. Different guys.
And an hour later,
and Players Association called him Rob, Rob. I mean, if you're talking about like just a slight shot at somebody, I mean, that's just beautiful. I don't know if it was Tony Clark who actually phrased it and did that himself, but probably. What a shot! And I love that. I love that kind of pettiness. The Players Union has done, for their part, Players Union has done a very good job of laying everything out there. Yeah. They've made it very transparent what they were asking for to fans and to the league. They've made it very clear about the league's response to them in their request for things. The Players Association really wanted the league to prove, hey, you're saying you're losing $600,000+ per game played without fans. Show us that documentation. Show us where that's coming from. And then we can talk from there. Let us figure it out, because right now we don't have any proof of that. So it's just you telling us that we're losing money, so we can't pay you that much. That's fine if you have the proof of that. And they've said that multiple times. Like, hey, if you have that proof, then we can renegotiate. Then we can talk. Until then, 100% of our prorated salary as negotiated before. Otherwise, we're not doing it. And Major League Baseball has basically come back and said, well, we can't show you that. That's private information. We don't have that documentation for you. You'll need to make a formal request in court for that. It's like, when you start doing that, then the Players Association is, of course, they're not going to work with you on something. If you're unwilling to work with them, why would they work with you?
Meanwhile, the rumor or the word comes out that there's a new TV deal guaranteeing baseball billions or millions or however
$1 billion just for a playoff TV deal. A playoff TV deal. You got money on that? I get it.
That's the best I was able to do.